Hello folks, well I came across this on the Microchip forum about whether or not you can fade in and out an LED just using hardware peripherals on the PIC, and that got me thinking, and I thought, well, I wonder if that is indeed possible. And I think the individual who asked the original poster was asking whether it could be done on the PIC18, so I thought, well, let's see. Now initially I thought, well, okay, he's using one of the modern PIC18 I think it was a 46 K42. The K42 series have got DMA. I thought, well, maybe we could use DMA to do it. Anyway, I did think long and hard about it, but I also wanted to do something else as well. I wanted to see if we could actually do an LED fader with absolutely no CPU intervention or requirement to come out of sleep. The DMA on these PICs actually you can't run it in sleep, so I thought, well, let's see if we can use some of the peripherals. So I came up with something. So here's the diagram, and what I'm doing is I'm using two timers, and they're just slightly different frequency from each other. I'm driving them off the low frequency internal oscillator, which is 31 kilohertz. These are just 8-bit timers, and the timer 2 is running with a rollover, so it counts from 0 to 0xFF, so 256, so this does a divide by 256, which gives you about 121.1 hertz, and this is timer 4, which is slightly different frequency. I've set the set it to finish at 255 by setting it to 0xFE, which has 254, so it actually goes from 0 to 254, so that's a divide by 255. So you've got a divide by 256 here, and divide by 255 here, which gives you the 121.57 hertz. So that's great. Now you can't see these particular outputs directly on the chip. But they do present themselves at the configurable logic devices that are in there. And there's 4 CLCs that are in this particular PIC. And one of the other problems with these timer 2 outs and timer 4 outs, which occur when they roll over, there's the very short pulses, much shorter than I'm showing here. I think they're essentially so for this one I think it's like 1/254 or whatever, or 1/255, so like a 0.4 or whatever % duty cycle. So that's not much use. But I thought, well, what I could do is I could just divide them with a divide by 2, which I was using the CLCs here as a JK flip-flop, tie the J and K high, so every time it gets a clock pulse in, it toggles the output. So that means we get a divide by 2. So for example, this top one here from timer 2, from 121.1 hertz, we go down to 60.55 hertz with 50% duty cycle. And similarly, with this second CLC here, we've got a 50% duty cycle that's 60.78 hertz. So that's all very nice, but then how do we make it so we can fade an LED? Well, what we do is put it into an exclusive OR gate, which I've set up with a CLC3, into the LED, and you get a fade of about 4 times a second. Sorry, once every 4 seconds, 0.23 hertz or so. So, does it work?